Hey y'all, I'm gonna talk about why we struggle with sin. And the difference between iniquity, transgression, and sin. So there are 4 reasons that I'm aware of as to why we struggle with sin. Number 1 is our misunderstanding of the concept of sin. Number 2 is our misunderstanding of God's power and the power that He's given us over sin. And 2, 3, 4 is the spiritual influences that we are under. So number 1, we misunderstand sin a little bit for several reasons, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just talk about the difference between sin, iniquity, and transgression. So the only way to truly be freed from sin, from the bondage of sin, is to have iniquity dealt with. The only way iniquity can be dealt with is to have Christ redeem you and transform your mind. Think of iniquity like you breaking a law. Going to the biblical example in, I think it's Isaiah, it talks about Satan and it says, "You were perfect from the day you were created, but iniquity was found in you." Iniquity is the initial offense. It's the state of being mindset that says, I can figure this out on my own. I don't need God. I can run to this. I can run to that. Whatever it is, outside of God, outside of connecting with God to figure this out. It needs to be known and understood that none of us were meant to operate independent of God. Not a single one of us. The reason why you're in lack, the reason why you're in trouble, the reason why you're depressed, the reason why you're blah, 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 is because you're operating outside of the will of God. You don't have to agree with me, but that's just the truth. Not partnering with God is your own free will choice that you can make, but it has spiritual consequences, emotional consequences, mental consequences, and even physical consequences. We are not designed to operate away from God. It's the reason why He's given us all a spirit. Not only so that we'd be made alive, but also to be able to connect with Him. If you've watched my video talking about the aspects of spirit is consciousness, communion or connection, and their intuition. So that's what our spirit is meant to do. Many of us are in troubles and issues and all this stuff because our spirit is dead. And that's truly the summary of what it is to be in sins, is that your spirit is dead. You have not been made alive in spirit. So what was I going to say? So iniquity is the idea, you can do it without God, whatever. Looking towards oneself, looking towards this, towards that, to solve your problems, to give praise, whatever. That's iniquity. Sin is the specific offense. So again, with the example of breaking the law, the idea that you break the law because, you want to get away with something, you know, you need this, you need that, whatever the case is. The idea that you think that you're above the law to break the law is iniquity. The actual specific offense of whatever it is that you did, whether you stole, murdered, whatever you did, that's sin. It's the specific offense. The sin of blah, blah, blah. And then there's transgression, which is the actual physical act of doing it. And the reason why there's these different breakdowns or considerations, they're not crucial to understand, but it will help you to understand them. Because you can have iniquity in you, just like it says in the word, iniquity was found in him. So regardless of of Satan's actions, iniquity was still found in him. In him, he was in error. You can have iniquity in you and think about, man, I really want such and such. I know I could like steal it, blah, blah, blah. But you don't actually go through with it. Okay, you didn't commit the transgression, but you still perceived it in your heart. You still perceived it in your mind. In the spirit, thinking is doing. Think about it from the Matthew 5 perspective. When Jesus is talking about, if you even look at a woman lustfully, I think it's like 5:26 or something like that. If you even look at a woman lustfully, you've already committed the sin of adultery. In the spirit, thoughts are actions. It's not any action just adds to the offense. The offense is already done. The only way in which you'll actually know freedom is to not have iniquity. You have to be freed from the mindset of, oh, I'll just solve it this way. I'll just solve it this way. I'll just run to a bottle to solve it. I'll just get into a relationship. So I'll just do this. I'll just do that. Whatever. Otherwise, you will always go back and forth. It'll always be like, you know, I've sinned. I've messed up. And then you do it again. And you do it again. And you do it again. And that's torment. And Jesus didn't die for you to be tormented in that way. He did not. Yes, there is no overcoming it 100, 1000% because of the fallen nature of man. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be a perfect person. But you don't have to struggle. If the world wants to, they don't have to either. But if the world wants to, that's their choice. And many people make that choice. When you say like, when it always baffles my mind that there's people who speak to like having healing miracles and people will like have something to say against that. I could understand like maybe one or two examples of that where it's like, yeah, sure, okay. But then if you hear it and you keep hearing it and you keep hearing it and you still want to reject it, it's like, what? That's weird. Why are you so comfortable with your misery that you don't even want to have hope that there's a way out of this? That might be you. That ain't me, okay? But you know, we've normalized certain things, and it's like, if you want to normalize that suffering, that's fine. But we as Christians, we as children of God are not called to do that. And it will be such a stumbling block, such a hindrance. I remember when I was really, really struggling with lust, probably some other things too, but that being a really big problem for me, it was like I was tormented because I would go back and forth. And I remember thinking, well, if it's going to be, why am I getting like the hiccups? if it's going to be something like this, then I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing, because why am I going to go back and forth? It's because I didn't realize that iniquity needed to be, I need to be free from iniquity. It needed to be broken off of me. I needed to bring down a stronghold that this is what I need to run to. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to act. And part of that is because, one, I didn't know Christ's healing power, freeing power. When I think about him talking about he is the way, the truth, and the life, there is no freedom outside of truth. That's not a thing. Now, the issue with anything outside of Christ is we have bits and pieces of truth. But Christ is the truth, meaning he is the only one who can actually free us, the only one who can actually save us, the only actual truth. Anything out there is a lesser version of it. And it's by his truth that we are set free. And it says in the word, who the Son sets free is free indeed. He has and will free you. He died for it. He literally died for you to be freed from that, whatever it is you're struggling with. So don't settle. And remember, he was tempted too, but he overcame. It wasn't, oh no, I might need to do this. No, he told that devil where to go. You know, he took captive every thought, whatever he had to do. I don't know, but he overcame. And you can too. We don't know the power that he's given us as well, which we have through him to stand up for ourselves, to fight for ourselves. He's not going to fight all your battles for you. He's just not going to do that. It's not going to happen. And then lastly, I'll just add that if we are not aware of our thoughts and the spiritual influences that we have in our lives, we will struggle, because how it works in the spirit is you have to call out. A lot of stuff is voice activated. If you do not call out an entity, if you do not call out, if you don't call it an entity, and even like when it comes to like praising the Lord or like commanding a blessing or something like that, like you have to use your words. It's the same thing, but on the other side of it. But anyways, if you do not call the stuff out, spirit of anxiety, spirit of depression, whatever the case is, a heavy spirit is what it's, I think, referred to as in scripture. If you don't call that out, it has every jurisdiction. That wasn't English. It has every right to have jurisdiction over your situation, over you, over your mind. And it will continue. You have to actually call it out. And I know it sounds weird. It might sound like it's like, that's not for me. Yeah, keep doing that and you'll keep suffering. You have to call it out. You can have all the right intentions, but if you still got that spirit lingering around you, promise it's still going to be a struggle. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you. I don't think there's anything else. If this video helped you, please like it. Please comment. If anything was confusing or anything, please let me know. And thanks for watching. Bye.